NASA and GE Aerospace are developing a hybrid electric engine under the Hybrid Thermally Efficient Core project, HyTEC. The engine combines a traditional fuel-burning core with electric motors, which is supposedly going to significantly reduce fuel consumption and emissions. I wonder how significantly. I think it was around 5-10% with the embedded electric motor generators. The project's goal is to have this engine concept ready by 2028, potentially bringing that hybrid electric technology to airliners by the 2030s, which is great because that's part of NASA's Sustainable Flight National Partnership, which is aiming for net zero aviation emissions by 2050.
Okay, I got this. I'm jumping in on this one. Hybrid electric jet engines.
Yeah.
We've got part fuel, part electric up in the air. But I'm going to throw it to you, Brian, on this one. What's the biggest challenge here? Come on, I know you're itching to go design and change. Give me your best shot. What do you think?
I mean, I think design and change is definitely the first thing my mind thinks of, because there's got to be so much testing happening.
Because it's the first thing your mind thinks of.
So right now, today's jet engines are not really hybrid electric at all. Like, we know we have generators that power things like lights, radios, TV screens, and those kind of things in the air, but there's nothing currently that takes that electric energy and powers the engines. And the challenge is figuring out where in the process to use the electric power for the electric motors, but also we know that batteries are kind of heavy. So if we're going to try to store anything, how do we do this and make all this work in a way that optimizes performance, optimizes weight, creates a system that can work with, or maybe even without energy storage like batteries, to help accelerate the introduction of a hybrid electric technology for commercial aviation? So I think there's a lot here. And for me, the biggest thing is design and change. I mean, you are making a design that is unlike, it's similar to and can be used some of the knowledge we figured out with cars, but it's also a very different like requirements process, everything. So I'm 100% design and change.
Not bad, but let me take this home. The solution is simple: design and change across the whole life cycle. I'm with you. From concept to certification, you've got to make so we're together on this one. For me, I just want to extend the whole design and change thing, because I think it's underestimated and people think of it in a very, a small box or a slightly extended process. This is concept to certification. You've got to make sure these hybrid systems work 100% with the existing infrastructure. Every design change needs to be seamless, keeping both performance and safety in check. Now, let's throw in a bit of artificial intelligence. Why not? AI-driven tools are able to simulate your engine integration, predict how these hybrids behave mid-flight, and even optimize your energy usage. And it doesn't stop there. AIs can even help with predictive maintenance, catch the issues before they become, real big problems. Bottom line, whether or not you're just blending gas and electric, we're ensuring this transition to hybrid aviation is smooth, it's sustainable, and it doesn't miss a beat when it comes to performance. Boom. There you go. That's how you solve it.
One thing happening here too, because you mentioned how the design and change touches, in this case, it's got to touch the whole process, right? So we're dealing with things in the air, which means we're dealing with FAA.
Yes.
Which means your requirements has to also fit in. So every time you make these changes in designs, you've got to say, do these still match all of these regulations and requirements? And I think that's probably use for even using some of the AI you're talking about to verify all of this.
Yep. Traceability through the certification. With you.
As long as the fuel doesn't have salt in it, didn't I hear something about salt and batteries not mixing well recently?
After the Helene.
After the hurricane that just hit the East Coast, I think they said there were 5,000 cars that were submerged, or electric vehicles that were submerged. And so far, 36 of them have spontaneously caught fire. Wow. The salt, when the salt is like dried on the outside of the batteries, it can actually conduct electricity, create heat, and cause problems. So
makes sense.
But if you're in the air, it's colder up there, so I'm sure we're fine. We're fine. Yeah.
The air will just blow the fire out.
Exactly. And
they're pretty easy fires, right? When a lithium battery catches fire.